Listen, I'm there. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm still technically on Twitter, although I have my tweets set to auto delete I think it's like every 3 or 5 days, something like that. But it's going to be very interesting as we move further into sort of this techocracy that the tech bros seem to be driving us to, because there's a lot of reporting now about how there are plans to basically make an app like Twitter be the WeChat for America. And WeChat, it's basically an app that you're required to use if you want to buy or sell or engage. If you want to send your kid, you get not just a like a credit score, you also get a social credit score. So if you're considered a good member of society, you'll be able to get access to good things like being able to send your kids to private school. If your kids are at private school and you get a low social credit score, because you're no longer considered a good member of society, your kids are not going to be able to be at that private school. And so we're seeing how Palantir and these other organizations are sort of being discussed in these articles as trying to move us in that direction. So if we don't figure out how to divorce ourselves from these spaces and really get our economic situation under control, we will have what DEI.watch has this quote from Marcus Garvey, where he says, "A race that is solely dependent upon another for economic existence sooner or later dies. As we have in the past been living upon the mercies shown by others and by the chances obtainable and have suffered therefrom, so we will in the future suffer if an effort is not made now to adjust our own affairs." So Nikki Porcher, when I have been saying, think about all the resources we consume that we don't provide for ourselves, and then consider what happens if the people who provide them no longer have to do so. I thought that was something novel and new. Marcus Garvey already said that. Marcus Garvey been said, and I mean, I know nothing, again, there's nothing new under the sun, but I certainly am not the first black to come up with that concept. Literally, this has been the issue. And back to our starting point, we've been new that this was the issue. We've been new, Nikki.
They've killed our, I say this is just what's happening now is digital lynching is no different than when they burn our neighborhoods, they burn our stores down. They're doing the same thing now. It's just in a different format because times have changed, but they're burning our stores, they're burning our land, they're burning our history. And if we're not actually standing up and standing together in this fight, it'll all disappear because we're too busy arguing with each other for crumbs. And I
Wow.
don't know if you talked about that already, but yeah.
I mean, we can always talk about not arguing over crumbs, particularly while we arguing over unseasoned crumbs.
Tell
Like,
you something, girl, because
child.
when I saw that, I was like, that is not no money. Y'all thought like the uproar, like I walked away from 250 because it ain't no money. But like 300 over 3 years, sir, ma'am. Who thought
Mm,
that was a great idea? And why did you
mm.
think that was a good idea? And then learning that was a history lesson for me because I didn't know that that same organization disowned Martin Luther King. And then that's why the other organization started. Like I had no idea before this happened because I just didn't know to look for something like that. And I'm being honest with you.
Well, we're
But to
learning.
see like that's happening again. And it's just like we have to understand that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
You getting a quick check now is not going to solve us next year, next week, not even next month. You can't even buy a house in Atlanta for $300,000. So what are you actually going to do with this little
Jesus.
bit of money? And knowing that you're going against the greater good and you're taking your community with that, that's bad leadership.
Mm. Bad leadership. That's bad community. You're a bad community member. We need our own internal social community score, so we
Dude,
can, like, you are a bad black. Like, you're not.
I always say we need to bring back shaming, the town square, like but I don't know because that voting committee then we had to vote about who's going to be on the voting committee to vote.
I nominate me. I
I
want to be
too,
on the
I
committee.
volunteer as tribute as well.
I nominate the two of us to be on that committee.
But it's not enough. I don't think there's enough accountability among Black leaders with Black leaders in a constructive criticism loving way. It's always
Mm.
speaking loudly over microphones around each other and not with each other. And I think more of that needs to happen.
Yeah, and I think one of the places I'm seeing that also needs to happen is when it comes to our elected officials. Like, I feel like might be the last situation I'm in where I feel like I have to bow to the black community's lack of desire to criticize bad black elected officials. Like, I get it, but we gonna have to move out of that situation. That's not
I
gonna work no
don't.
more.
I don't get it. And I tell people like I'm a run, and see what happens. And I'm like, if I get into the house of any houses, I'm taking everybody with me. Y'all think Trump is bringing his friends? You ain't see nothing. Let Nikki Porche become elected. Lorraine, do you want to be in charge of media? Like, what do
Yup.
you want?
Well, I'll do the law. I'll do the law media. We'll get Karen in charge of like communications generally, and like yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. I honestly believe Black people, we need more of that. We need more nepotism in our community. We need to be making sure that there's no reason why people behind us need to suffer if they're doing the same thing. That whole like,
Mm.
well, I had to work hard for it, so I'm not going to tell you anything. We have to lose that mentality. If you know what it took for you to get there, you see another person's trying to get there, why are you not sharing that? Why are you
That's
not
right.
encouraging that? Why are you not making it more easy for them? They're not going to take anything that you got because guess what? You're already ahead of them. You've
That's
already
it.
done it. They're
That's
looking to
it.
you for advice and guidance. So as we move into that, like that's the lesson we need to take away from what's happening in administration. Help your friends in your community out. If you have
Mm.
access to give them a job or resources or employ them or support them, you should be doing that because that's what they're doing. I read
Mm.
something in passing of how they're making some of the tech bros leaders of the military now, like
Yep.
something becoming colonels or something like that. Like
Lieutenant Colonel's child. They didn't do no basic training. They ain't do no
let me
nothing.
tell
They
you
just
something
up there
as a
getting saluted.
veteran,
Come
as a
on.
vet. Yesterday was an emotional day for me because I saw
Mm.
Iran had bombed IUD in Qatar, and I was stationed there. I helped put that camp together.
Wow.
So back in 2003, I was one of the first people there. So to see that they were actually bombing a place that I had occupied was very emotional.
Mm.
Also, my son is active duty in the army. He's going through some things mentally and
Wow.
emotionally, and some things are happening with his stuff that I can't share publicly. But so all that stuff is close nature to me. And now to know like
Mm.
Mark Zuckerberg is going to be in charge of something, it's like, why are we not helping? What is it going to take, Lurie, for us to finally say, you know what, I don't care. You look like me, I got your back, and I'm helping you. I know we don't always get along, but as our old mom used to say, keep that inside your house. Don't take it
Mm.
outside. Don't take it outside. That ain't for those folks. Keeping up our business. Keeping up
Mm.
business.
Mm. Well, it's easier to do that when we don't desire their presence.
Well, there's that too as well.
Yeah.
We both know we
Yeah.
don't care.
We be
Exactly.
loving it, child. The unhealthy of us be loving that presence. Be loving that presence. Now, Nikki, I know you have already established "Buy from a Black Woman." We already know that that's one of the main places we are going to go, and we're going to tweet out. Do we have a link to the guide of guides, the guide that you all put together? That basically is literally that. It's a PDF that essentially gives us how to shop and support diverse businesses. And you focus on Black businesses, yes, but you've taken a very community approach to this because you didn't just focus on Black businesses. You also included something for AAPI, for Indigenous owned, for Latinx owned, LGBTQIA plus owned business. So once again, as a Black woman who had already excelled in doing this for Black people, you have lent your generosity to making sure that all of us have access and capacity. So we're going to put that out because we have a PDF version of it. Is that on the Buy from a Black Business website as well?
It should be. If not, it will be within the next hour. We did
Perfect.
create a dedicated page to you, Lurie. So if you go on
Okay, yes.
buyfromablackbusiness.org and on the header it says Black Business of the Month, that's where that guide will live and also where our businesses of the month will live as well. Due to overwhelming support and demand, we had to push back our launch date to make sure that everything is looking correctly. We'll be
Wow.
going live on June 30th now, opposed to what we were supposed to be doing last week. But we're excited. We are excited. So that
That's
guy, if it's not
amazing.
there now, it should be updated within the hour, and they'll be able to download that. And we'll make sure that you get notification too as well directly to
That's
you.
fantastic. Yes, I'm looking at the buyfromablackbusiness.org / Black Business of the Month. I see Lurie Daniel Favors show there. And so going forward, when you join us, Nikki Porche, we are going to be able to highlight Black businesses to, and I will just say, when we first met, somebody had maybe called in because it was on Karen's show, and somebody had perhaps called in and said, well, what y'all going to do for the brothers? And the response was, well, did you start a buyfromablackman.com? Because you could do that. It's available. It's a URL.
No,
But
it's not. No, it's not. I own that.
um,
I own that.
oh,
They can start that. They can start a buy from Black Business by man. They can. That's mine. That's mine.
cause she what stands on business. Somebody you could have had it, but now you got to go through Nikki Porche. But you heard what she said. She's about rooting for everybody Black, so you might have a situation that could be worked out. That's what I'm talking about. You, girl, yes, you are embodying the best of what I want to see more of. So we are going to, going forward, be able to talk about each of the black businesses or that you are highlighting, whether they're owned by black women, by black men, by black gender nonconforming people, we don't care, because if you are doing good for the community, we want to do good for you. So I'm very excited about that. And so this covers all categories. You didn't limit it to any particular type of category. We are going to be able to highlight these organizations. We're going to have this amazing guide that you've put together. And this is the Buy from a Black Woman Conscious Shopping Guide. And this is amazing. And we're going to have that out as well. You're really making moves, Nikki Porche. And when we talked earlier this year, we know there was some, you were also dealing with the fallout that the rest of us have been dealing with the rollback of all of this work. And so to see you not just shine, but to excel far beyond the limitations of the haters that they were trying to keep you from being able to achieve, that is got to feel really special.
And thank you. I appreciate you saying that and noticing that. And I just want people to know, like, it hasn't been easy. It's still not easy. You know, like being a community servant, a community leader, a person who is in a space that's not popular, it is a lot of mental capacity and a lot of self-doubt that you have to overcome, a lot of unlearning. So the work I'm doing is it's been slow this year because I had to learn and unlearn. I had to reevaluate. I had to figure out how I know my thing is black women, right? Buying from a black woman has always been the forefront, but also I have to realize that it's bigger than just me just focusing on one demographic. If I say I want black people to be free, then I need to do the work for black people. I still can always center and put black women first, but I need to make sure that all black people feel as though I'm working on behalf of them, so they don't call and say, well, what about black men or what about our children?
Right.
Letting them know that yes, I'm here for all black people and I want our liberation.
And I think that is something that the ancestors here and are in alignment with. I know it's something that we on Urban View are in alignment with. So I'm just going to say thank you to you once again, because you are consistently putting your time, your resources, and your money where your mouth is. You don't just talk about it, you be about it, and that's the energy we need to carry into this new era. That right there.
And I appreciate you too as well. And I'm gonna be talking to you every month, girl. We
I
got
know. I'm so excited. Yes. Yes. I'm looking forward to these discussions. I'm looking forward to buying from these businesses, to highlighting them, because this is what it looks like. This is what the work looks like. So for people who want to follow you, want to connect with you in between now and then, is it too late for them to join the Buy from a
no,
Black
no,
business?
it's an ongoing thing. So the applications will always be open. And after we launch on June 30th, we will be adding businesses on a once a month basis. So the application, you can come in every month. Every day you can apply. Like add all the businesses because that's what we want to happen. We want the businesses to be there for people to shop. It's $85 for a year. Like
Hmm.
it's really no money. And if you have a
Wow.
business, if you're a business owner, you know marketing and putting money into resources so people can find you support. I do a lot of work. My team does a lot of work.
I can
So
tell.
for $85 a year, please don't nickel and dime me or ask me silly questions like, oh, what does $85 a year get me? It gets you noticed. It gets you connections like being on SiriusXM with Karen with Lurie. It gets you saying my name. Like, let's not talk, but like if you can say you're part of a community that does hold weight and people trust people and people want to know who you're connected with so they can support you. It's just the reality of the beast. We were
Right.
on a call earlier last week. I'm not gonna give too much away because I can't. But it was on a call earlier last week. We were talking about things about how they can do better with what they're doing, and I let them know like let's stop playing games. You want money, you want to make money, and you want money from Black people. This is about marketing. So let's just
Mhm.
really talk about what it is instead of pretending that there's something more. We need you to invest in these programs with the money you have. You want people to give you money, and you want it to be from Black people. So let's talk about what we both really want so we can get to the happy ending instead of pretending it's something that is not. And it has to be real money, not 300. If he would have did it for $300 million, I might have understood something. I'm sorry, I keep talking about it.